Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me to address you during your annual assembly. From Sharjah and the UAE, I convey our warmest wishes, hoping that you're all safe and sound during this crisis. 2020 has been an intense year so far. Deep, fundamental social and economic changes are taking place right in front of our eyes. The recent protests in the United States and around the world signal the urgent need for people from various minorities to be heard and seen as equal members of the human family. Underneath this global outcry against racism runs the deep and complex challenge of inclusion and underrepresentation. Many people from a minority background find it hard to succeed and advance in their professions, not because they are incompetent or lack passion and imagination, but because they happen to be from a vulnerable minority, race, or background. Their voices are underrepresented. Their existence is underrepresented. But despite the current practices, these people do exist, and their voices cannot be ignored. Their humanity cannot be dismissed. Not anymore. The publishing sector is in a unique position to create the right environment for all positive change for minorities. Publishers can and should lead from the front and be agents of positive change by giving all voices the platform to share their stories with the rest of the world. But change starts from within. For the publishing sector to play an influential role in social change, the industry itself needs to lead by example. It needs to welcome and support all publishing professionals, all the time, without any bias towards gender, race, or any background. Today, I'm happy to say that diversity and inclusion is at the center of IPA's agenda, thanks to the hard work and leadership of many of our enlightened colleagues in IPA during the last decade or so. Many publishers around the world have now introduced diversity and inclusion programs within their companies. The fact that I'm addressing you today is in and of itself an achievement that should be celebrated. We have come a long way, but the journey is not over yet. There are still outdated practices in many publishing businesses around the world. For example, female publishers are currently energizing the sector worldwide. And yet, not many sit at the decision-making table, which has ramifications on the culture and environments they operate in. We need to ask ourselves, why? Why women are systematically denied leadership and decision-making positions in many parts of the world, despite their creativity and contribution to the publishing sector? Why are other minorities systematically and silently denied many rights and privileges within our sector? These are important questions that all publishing associations like yours should debate and think about. To support women's rights to access key leadership positions in the publishing industry worldwide, I founded Publish Her. Publish Her is a supportive community that aims to work closely with all stakeholders to create the right, diverse, and inclusive cultures that will allow women to advance in their careers as much as they wish. But what about others from different minority backgrounds? What can we do to support and nurture them? The best way to start is to look inside the culture of every publishing business. Progressive publishers that are doing it right build practices and cultures that create fairness and equality for all of their employees. This is helping them now weather the current COVID-19 crisis because they can think creatively as a result of their diversity. It is a smart business decision to have diverse teams and diverse voices around the decision-making table, because our readers are increasingly diverse, and our authors are becoming increasingly diverse as well. and I believe that the current social changes will only result in more diversity in the future. Publishers who embrace diversity are going to be better prepared for the future. But giving the opportunity to everyone based on merit is not just sound business practice. It's simply the right thing to do. As we move forward, I think the publishing sector, like all other sectors, needs to evolve and adapt to the new global environment. During my IPA presidency next year, I intend to continue driving the conversations around diversity and inclusivity. And I also intend to work closely with all of my colleagues from around the world to make the publishing sector a beacon of light to all minorities from all backgrounds. Thank you again for this kind invitation, and congratulations on choosing the topic of diversity and inclusion to be part of your General Assembly this year. By doing this, you have joined a growing global movement that favors more equal opportunities for all. This is exciting, and it assures me that the publishing sector is going in the right direction. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.